Douglas Murphy was a drunk and a cad, loved being bad, making folks mad. Douglas Murphy was jail-bitten sad, and he was floored as unknown scribe. Douglas Murphy left school in '68. It already seemed his fate to be a reprobate. He was becoming everything his father seemed to hate, and Murphy wavered between humiliation and pride. Doug Murphy moved out and lived on the cheap, worked as a sweep, spent nights drinking with creeps. He gave up a roof and lived in the deeps, and the outcasts became his tribe. Douglas Murphy sat drinking one day. On a milk crate mislaid, it was cool in the shade. After slurring some insults, he had to fend off a blade, and luck let him reach the jailhouse alive. In solitary for provoking a new fight, to keep his mind off his plight, he started to write. Sometimes Murphy would work through the night, and to be a writer he began to strive. Douglas Murphy wrote of tramps and buffoons, clever rants in saloons, sad poems like I Miss the Moon. Murphy hoped he would be free again soon, and that his past could be somehow defied. But the day he was freed, Murphy went to a bar. It was always that way. He would never get far. Douglas Murphy would drink from can, bottle, or jar, and his papers would soon be tossed aside. After years camping out in shacks, jungles, and jails, writing to little avail, his health starting to fail, Murphy got a subsidized flat, his own holy grail, and he made himself a promise to thrive. Yet chaos continued, Murphy caught in a funk, spending half his time drunk amidst comforting junk. A fracas got him evicted, tossed out with drafts that filled trunks, and his wandering life was abruptly revived. Sick and alone, Doug Murphy drifted again, between woods and the bin, too coarse for friends to take in. Murphy rented a room, promptly fell out with some men, and found himself back in the hellish barred hive. Through a long year in jail, Murphy conquered his ghouls, and began to unspool a tale of memorable fools. But disease had caught up with his lifelong misrule, and the future was no longer his to decide. Doug Murphy died without the fame he had craved. Obscure as a slave, he lacks even a grave. But slowly the world will read what was saved, and his memory will survive.